Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Above the Bar podcast, a show about a middle-aged father, current events, and how these things affect my everyday life. Alrighty, folks, welcome to another episode of the Above the Bar podcast. It's your host, Sean, doing a little bit of housekeeping here. Our guest will be logging on in just a moment. We were just talking, so big man Bamm is going to be jumping on in just a moment with us. As we're waiting for him to get ready to jump on, we'll go ahead and do our typical, if I can use the English language here. Hello, Miss Jeanette. What's up? We've got everybody out there. Tom, hopefully Tom checked his phone. I've been sending him videos like all day. Can't get him to get on Instagram for whatever that reason is, but sooner or later we'll talk him into the gram, and that's Instagram, Tom, not the other kind of gram, Insta. Um, so go through a little bit of our typical house cleaning stuff here, folks. If my mic sounds low, let me know. I was messing with. Unfortunately, I did the one thing you're never supposed to do once you have your button set. I started playing around here. Um, Go through our typical house cleaning stuff, folks. First things first. As always, over my shoulder, we have the board for sticker and a cause. If you've got something going on, you've got something happening in your life that's important, and you've created a sticker. If you've created a sticker for it so that other people can enjoy that thing or help come support it, make sure you go ahead and you send me that. Just send me a direct message. We'll go ahead and read about it, whatever it is. I'll get that sticker and put it up. We've had a couple people do so, other podcasters, other people. So I got it all up there for them. You have something, make sure you send it out here to me, and we'll get it situated also. The next thing is as always, one of the most important things that we do on here for everybody who's already jumped on, is already starting to listen. Make sure you take a moment and you share this thing to as many places as you possibly can. Just don't have happen to you what happened to me last week, which was I shared the daylights out of this thing, as I always do. And Facebook, which I don't understand, Facebook thought I wasn't me sharing from my phone, which was pretty interesting since they track everything we do. And we all know that. Just check the next time that you have an advertisement for something that you asked your significant other about and never once looked up online. You can't tell me they're not listening in. And there's nothing we can do about it because we've wired our whole world. Alexa, Google, Siri, all those wonderful things that make our lives that much easier are all wired in, and nothing we can do. Oh well, shit happens. But as always, take a moment and share away to all those wonderful, wonderful places that are out there, groups that you belong to, yard sale places you belong, so that all of them can enjoy the joy that is the Above the Bar podcast. Uh, Wish I could figure out how the guys over at Talking Beards do it. Somehow they're able to track who shared it the most. I don't know how they do it, but I got to figure that one out. How they track um, that piece of information. So make sure you share it away to all the different places. Get everybody to take a look at it. Get them all to know what's going on here over at the bar. We are doing an extra show this Saturday, also, folks. We will be having Seth Turner and Mr. Fox Vineyard back on. We've been promoting, pumping up, getting ready for the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame inductions that are going on here in Albany the weekend of the 27th. And some pretty cool things have happened. The show's been involved in stuff that we didn't even necessarily know we were going to be involved in. It just kind of happened, and we lucked out this way. So through bringing Fox onto the show, we'll probably talk about this a little more, but from bringing Fox on the show, him checking out everything, him becoming a part of it with Seth and Mike Latona, everybody being on the show, there was supposed to be the original wrestling show that Fox was just going to be, I think it was a battle royal or something along those lines that he was going to be involved in and he was going to be doing. Well, some things happened that didn't work out. Something I don't know, not privy to the behind the scenes of it, but that's fine. So some things happened and they weren't able to get that show to happen. But luckily, the group that Fox belongs to and who he wrestles with were able to step up, step forward, and they got everything going. They made it happen for those guys. So we're still going to have wrestling on the 27th at the Dome in Watervliet. I know some of you are around the world listeners and checking us out from around the world. Um, you could find something. Somebody will stream it. We're trying to figure out where we're going to fit into all of it. Hopefully it works out and we're able to do something extra with those guys because I'm a big fan of what they're doing. Then Saturday is going to be the inductions, and you're going to be able to go see those inductions and be involved in that. And then the last thing that's going down for all this is they're going to be having an actual brain's not working. On Sunday morning, they're calling it Breakfast of Champions, where all these different champion wrestlers, inductees, people like that are going to be there. Zeus is going to be there. Tito Santana is going to be there. My personal favorite, if you listen to the show, Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin's going to be there. So there's definitely going to be a fair amount of different wrestlers and folks out there checking it out. So make sure you're doing that. And the last thing is, as we're getting ready for our buddy Bam to jump on here, is we've got a new show that, for those of you who know Nick, and I'll never try to pronounce Nick's last name. That'll be a whole show in and of itself, trying to pronounce his very, very Italian last name that only has like 4 actual letters, but it duplicates each one of them like 15 times, and I can't pronounce it by no means. So Nick and I have been talking, looking at trying to get another show. So we're going to be hopefully have news here real soon of another podcast coming. We'll do some video stuff. It'll be a little bit different kind of a format. Won't be so much just things that I find interesting. It'll be a different format here. We'll jump on with all that. So that'll be coming soon here. But as Bam's getting ready, we're talking back and forth right now. He's getting ready to jump on. We were discussing this. So Bam is a pretty interesting guy. Prior service Army. We won't hold that against him here on the show. Remember Army. He says I'm on waiting. Let's hold on a sec, folks, because I think I'll resend the link. I don't see you. So we might be having some technical difficulties completely on my end. So we're going to go with that here for a minute because, yeah, right. So, all right, Bam, I see your picture. You have to enter. So he's in the right spot. You're in the right spot, Bam. You absolutely are. You actually just have to keep going a little bit forward here. Let's see. Maybe we can call him. Maybe we can do that. All right, let's do that. Oh, nope. He figured it out. Look at that. See, this is. I always love having Army guys. Oh, turn something down here, bro. You got a little extra feedback here.
You good now?
Yep, we should be good now. A little bit. Are you on your phone? And you're listening to it? Are you listening to like in 2 spots?
No.
Okay. See, I told everybody you were in the Army, so we'll talk slow here. I mean, couldn't get you logged in.
No, I'm not that smart.
You know what Army stands for, though, right, Bam?
Ain't ready to be a Marine yet? Yeah, I heard all that nonsense in the 90s. I had a really good friend of mine who sent me some cookies as a care package in basic training.
What,
he
Marine?
was a Marine. Yeah, and that didn't go over well. That didn't go over well.
I will probably tell you the funniest thing I saw sent to somebody in boot camp, and I don't even remember the guy's name. I will tell you, though, he was the oldest guy in our platoon. He was like, I went to boot camp. I was 17. I turned 18 in boot camp. Yeah, so you understand what that world's like. Where did you make the same mistake of initially in your head? You were like, I should tell the drill instructor it's my birthday, and then you like, no, that's stupid. I'm not doing that.
No, they knew already. Somehow, some way, they already knew. That shit didn't go over well either, though.
No, we had a guy from New Jersey who was 27 years old, and he sent saltwater taffy in boot camp. Do you know how horrible it was for that young man?
I think we're showing our age right now. I think these kids don't even know what saltwater taffy is anymore.
You got to. I mean, they have to know what it is. They had to go went to Jersey Shore or something like that. Now, where are you coming to us live from there, Bam?
I'm in Miami, Florida. The bottom of the map.
Bottom of it. Well, Key West, the bottom.
Well, I live on the last intersection before you get on the stretch to head to the Keys.
You ever hang out in the Keys?
Oh yeah, all the time. A lot of trouble to be had down there in my younger days. Absolutely.
I am such a fan of Key West and that whole like Sloppy Joe's, and can't think of the name of it.
Vibration down there. It's a whole different vibration down there.
Oh, completely. It's hard to explain to folks if they've never been there.
So the thing about Key West is everything's just super laid back. You go to a 5-star restaurant, everybody got on flip flops and tank tops. It's a complete different vibration down there. Where you at, Sean? Where you at right now?
I'm in the land that God forgot. New York.
You know, I was stationed in Fort Drum.
Are you hearing a feedback from your end, Bam?
I'm sorry?
No, yes.
I didn't hear you.
Do you have a feedback on your end?
No, I have none.
Maybe it's just on. Anybody who's out there listening, if you hear the feedback, let me know. I'm just trying to figure out where it's at and how to get rid of it.
Yeah, I hear you
driving me a little. Like I can hear an echo from myself every time I talk to you. It comes back to me. Let's try.
Yeah, you're in Albany. I was stationed in Fort Drum when I was in the military.
Good God, you know what real cold is.
Listen, that's real cold. I've been to Alaska. I went to light fighter school in Alaska.
Like that's a different kind of cold out there.
That's the cold that hurts.
So
I had no business that far north.
I'm still getting this feedback. I cannot figure it out. See, yeah, everybody else is saying lots of feedback on your mic, Sean. So let's see. Is that any better?
I can't hear you at all now, boss.
You can hear me at all now? How about now?
I hear you now. It's coming back.
Yeah, I can't figure out what's going on here that this thing is feeding back to me. How about now?
I hear you perfectly.
Yeah, see, you're hearing me perfectly, but I'm getting an echo on this side.
Back to yourself.
I don't understand.
You see, we leave that smart stuff to you geniuses, to you Marines.
I wasn't an ASVAB wave. I'll give you that. Let's see here. Let's try something. Is that any better? Nope.
I hear you.
What are you talking to me on? You talking to me on like we talking on cans or something like that?
2 strings, a string and 2 cans.
A string and 2 cans.
2 girls in 1 cup.
Oh, hey, that's a whole nother thing. Let's try one other thing. I'm so trying to figure out what is going on here. So let's try and switch my microphone to this. How's that sound?
I still hear you the same.
But I'm not getting an echo right now either. I'm wondering. See, this is that technology. You got to be 10% smarter than the job you're doing.
That you use.
So, but we weren't here just to talk about, what we did in the service, what our lives in the service were like. We came out here today to talk about you, the BAM athletics. You got, brother, I was looking through it. You got a full line of stuff from powders, proteins, baseball bats, shirts, You name it, it's all out there.
Yeah, Sean, I
So,
work hard, man. I work
bro,
hard.
how did you get involved? So what is the catalyst that takes you from, yeah, I'm gonna just kind of go instead of going to GNC and buying up all the stuff on your own like everybody else does? What was the catalyst for you to say, I'm gonna step into a multi-billion-dollar market and do it on my own?
So I wish I knew. Bruce.
Oh, hold on. If for those of y'all that hear Bruce in the background, Bruce is a brindle, beautiful dog who got himself in a lot of trouble the other day.
Oh yeah.
Do we
Bruce.
want to talk about the trouble Bruce got himself into?
Between me and Bruce, I'm not sure who paying more bills in here. He think he the man of the house around here.
I mean, Bruce got himself all hemmed up the other day.
Bruce chewing up piece stairs. Bruce is vastly becoming detrimental to the return of my security deposit. That's what's going on.
Like Bruce is ruining things, ruining his own opportunity.
Yeah, he's a good dog though. He's a good dog. Started off my son's dog, and now my son isn't here, so it's just me and the dog, man.
Just you and Bruce hanging out.
Me and Bruce. We were saying, in all honesty, I really don't have any idea where it all came from. One day I woke up ambitious, and that's really it. I wish I
Woke
had
up
a
in.
long story for the A&E television network, but man, I don't. One day I woke up and I just I just wanted to do something different. Woke up and I wanted to be. I hate to sound cliche or try to act like I'm better than thou art, but at one point in my life, I did things wrong. I made a choice to do everything wrong. It was a part of my everyday to look for trouble in different places. And one day it stopped. One day it stopped. It took for my pops to pass away for some bells and whistles to start going off in my head. And I guess I realized that time waits for no man. From there, from there I've been pushing my own plug. From there I don't want to wear anybody else's shirts. From there I don't want to wear anybody else's hat, anybody else's brim. I'll make my own brims. I don't want to rock nobody else's shorts. When I take my supplements to work out, I don't want to take nobody else's. I'll make my own. If I swing a softball bat, I'll make my own bat. I started like the softballs we were using. I got into with manufacturers in China and so on and so forth, countries, even American manufacturers. And I said, I'm gonna hit my own equipment. And that was just that. From one day to the next, from 1 minute to the next, from 1 hour to the next, I just made a decision that I was gonna do my own thing. I didn't want to follow anybody else's rules anymore. I wanted under my own accord.
So, what was that feeling like though? Like when you say that you went and you stepped up your own game, you did your own thing. Like there's and this is actually, I appreciate you coming on because this kind of fits into it, and the thing that Nick, a buddy of mine, Nick and I are going to do is going to fall into these lines also. I'm always curious of how many haters were out there when you said whatever your career path you had already chosen. It sounds like you were at least paying your bills. You know what I mean? Like I'm. What was that like? Telling people now I'm going to walk away from what's paying the bills to what's going to make me happy.
So I still get that. I still get that today. That hasn't stopped. But Sean, I'm gonna tell you, if a hater's job is to hate, I promise you, I'm gonna keep them on their job. I'm gonna make sure that they have overtime. Everything that I do, I'm gonna do it for me. I'm gonna come and go as I please. I'm gonna eat when I want to eat. I'm gonna take a dump when I want to take a dump. Everything that I do is ultimately it's just for freedom. It's for freedom. It sounds cliche. It sounds corny at times, but I don't want to do nothing else that nobody else tells me to do. I don't want to do it when they tell me to do it. I don't want to do it how to do it. I don't even wear a watch on my damn wrist because I'm on my own time.
Hold on. You get one for that. Let's see if I remember my buttons right. Oh. You get one for that.
Whatever he is, if that's what their job is, I'm gonna keep them on their damn job. I just want to do it my way. See, somewhere along the lines, the definition of real freedom got all twisted up. It got all twisted up. Freedom doesn't have convenience. Freedom has no convenience. Freedom doesn't have a stopwatch or a time clock or a face on it to make an expression. Freedom is doing what you want to do when you want to do it. Just that. I decided I wanted to have my own shirts. I made my own shirts. Whatever I decide I want to do, I'm going to do it. We live in a day and time where you really can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Brother, you got me. I'm going to tell you right now, just listening to the way you talk and listen to that. So now I want to step this thing forward. So how old is Bamm Athletics? And so everyone knows, if you're curious where to find my man's stuff at, where it's at, if you're watching the live version, you see popped up on the screen at Bamm Athletics. You could pretty much go on to Facebook, Instagram, any of those things, and you're going to find Bamm himself on there. He's a very soft, gentle looking man with his little soft pink hat and everything. For those of you that ain't watching this live, my man looks like he eats what Rocky punches on a daily. So don't get it twisted. But check out Bamm Athletics. Is it BammAthletics.com also?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
So we got Bamm Athletics, BammAthletics.com. Check all these different elements out. So how old is Bamm Athletics?
So, man, Bamm Athletics started in my trunk. So I started pressing out T-shirts, little BS T-shirts that just with my favorite number 16 on it. 16 corresponds to a lot of different things in my life. It's my birthday, my mother's birthday, my 3 children's birthdays added together. 16 has always been around. It's just one of those numbers that responds to a lot of things that I have going on in my life. So I made it up with a number 16 and Bamm Athletics in like a circular image. It was around the time, rest in peace, that Jose Fernandez passed away from the Marlins. His number 16 was 16 as well. So it kind of had like a little double meaning. So people started buying them, and they were just regular T-shirts out of my trunk. But the material was called tri-blend and was real soft. So taking it to work out in, to play ball in, and from there, man, somebody listen. When you get into business, all these manufacturers just start contacting you on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Right? Oh yeah. Listen, me and you, we're gonna stay in contact, and whatever you need, I'm gonna make it where you make whatever the hell you want to do possible.
Look, this is me right here. If what I enjoy, and look, you're talking about T-shirts. I'm gonna slide over for a minute. So this is actually, I like coming up with T-shirt ideas. So this T-shirt, we have friends of ours that do drag. And we did a show a couple of weeks ago. We went to our first drag show, and I came up with we were talking. I said, "Oh, this is your T-shirt idea, just a drag show, and each one of their heads as a wig that they wear." So that was me. So we gonna stay in touch because I have horrible, wonderful ideas for T-shirts all the time, and I don't know how to get them made, man. It sounds like you figured it out pretty quick. What was that learning curve like?
It was horrible. And I learned huge financial.
Yeah, speak up for me, Bamm. I can't hear you.
I said it was horrible, and I learned huge financial lessons there. Huge financial lessons were to be learned from me. I took a hit in my pocket before I took a hit in the wall.
Define that.
So going through different manufacturers, going through different artists. I started out as a rep for a company called All the Way Live out of Tampa, Florida. My man Greg Ramsey put me on, and he kind of took me under his wing locally to show me some of the ropes. But even he used to tell me that he knew that he wasn't to hold on to me very long. He knew that I wanted my own, everything. You know what I'm saying? So from there, the manufacturer started contacting me, and man, nice guy, but I'm a bulldog when I'm dealing with him. So send me a free sample. If you want my money, then you send me a free sample. That's that. If you want my money, send me everything extra large shorts, pants, extra large shirts, send me large hats, send me socks, send me underwear, send me tights, send me leggings, send me everything in extra large. If you want my business long term. And a lot of that stuff, it's like when you look at a commercial with the Whopper on it, right?
Right.
Look at that Whopper commercial. It's banging, Sean. It's juicy, right? It looks perfect. All the colors are in perfect order. But then when you get a Whopper in real life, it's like big as opposed to what you saw on the commercial. So they would send me their best. And then once I would place larger orders, I would end up taking a bit of a loss.
Mm.
Until I started finding manufacturers that understood what I was saying, and language barrier there as well, because most of the manufacturers starting off are not in the United States. You can't afford some of the United States pricing at times. But I broke through that barrier as well, and now manufacturers right here in the United States.
That's awesome.
I was fortunate enough to go to Santa Clarita, California, with another company that I'm associated with. I'm a softball director with ISPS, with ISPS, and the owner, the CEO, took me out there to California with him a few months ago, and I was able to expand the brand there as well and meet some manufacturers, and that's where I found my California connect.
Now, what is ISPS?
It's an international softball company where you see the softball tournaments. It's just another one of. It's just one of the. It's a local softball association right here. That station right here in Miami. But he's branched out. He has Guatemala, Colombia. He has Mexico. He has Africa. His name is Manuel Ferrero, and he is he's big time. He's another one who's taken me under his wing and showed me some of the ropes. There's a few people out there, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of them, but I would forget everybody. But there's a few people out there that really gave a damn about me. It's tough to do it all on your own personally. But there's a few people who gave a damn about me and tucked me under their wing and showed me some ropes. And I wouldn't say that they provided a shortcut for me, but they provided a healing process for me to lick my wounds when I took my losses.
That's we all need that Godfather, that somebody out there in business that you want to get into. In your case, like you said, it's all about it's all very sports related, workout related, softball related, all those different items. You needed a Godfather. I have my boy Herb. We call him the Podfather. He got me into this side. He's all about the podcasting. But I got to tell you, you got some fans out there, brother. No relation, Laura Murphy. No, at least I don't. If she's in Florida, she could be related to me, but that's a whole another thing. But I don't think she's related to me.
And I'm gonna tell you that young lady is one of the sweetest, kindest women that I know. I worked with her in the post office. I'm an employee with when I go. But she's seen my vision early on. She's always supported me. She's great. She's worked with me for over 20 years. She had a tragic accident a few years ago, and she's there too. So I'm able to feed off of some of her motivation as well. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing.
And then you got a Mr. Marco Reyes. Sam's story is short of nothing but amazing. I'm loving it right now. Just hearing what the deal is, hearing how it happened for you, brother. I mean, we were introduced by another service member, Andrew Dibble. Now, he ain't trying to Twitch or nothing like that. He ain't got you twitching, does he?
No.
All right, just checking.
He's good people too. Dibs is good people too, though.
Yeah,
great.
we try to get everybody on that Twitch game.
No, he don't have me on the Twitch, but I'm gonna tell you, I have hired him. I have him on the staff as one of the designers, and he does a lot of our little skits and our short little spots that I post up, little teasers about the products, about the supplements. I just released 5 supplements not too long ago, and he's been integral in the marketing direction that I want to go in.
Now you've got all these different supplements out there. You got these different items that people can pick up on and everything. But what makes a BAM supplement different than me going and getting Jacked or C4 or any of these other ones that are much more commercially known? What sets you apart from those guys?
First off, I'm a regular guy, like everybody else. When you see those bodybuilders, I've been in the bodybuilding realm as well. When you see them, they're superhuman. It's tough to believe that you take one scoop of this, that, and the third, and you're gonna look like Ronnie Coleman or like Lex Wheeler. So
Lightweight.
Right, exactly. So it just makes it real tough to think that that's what's gonna happen. But the way I'm built is attainable. I've worked hard for it, but I'm gonna tell you, it's attainable. It's definitely attainable, and I'm hoping that people understand that everything that I've done, I've been my own lab rat. I've taken my over and over and over, and I went back to the drawing board. And I am a bulldog. So when the distribution company and the manufacturers that make my product, I'm sure they're sick of me. I'm sure they are sick of me because listen, I'm gonna show my age right here. You remember when we were younger, we saw those commercials with Sam Breakstone?
Yes.
Not creamy enough. Listen, everything I do is just not creamy enough. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they were sick. I'm sure they were sick of me. But my thing is, hey, I want a strong product, and that's exactly how I feel about me being direct to consumer. They pay their money. I want to make sure they get a strong product.
You talk about your age and everything. I can still remember when you could take androstenedione.
Oh, Andro was the bomb.com when Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were going through that whole home run race.
Oh,
I read that.
Well, they were
taking it.
I had my days in the Marine Corps where I weighed about 165, 170, 19 dead hang pull-ups, knocked my 100 crunches out, no problem, and I ran my 3 miles in about a 24:30.
Oh yeah, I was one of those as well, but I was only 100. I was 148 pounds back then.
See, you're like me. So when I joined, I weighed 127 pounds in boot camp. Like I was definitely light in the ass. Yeah. Well, we just had this conversation the other day, and we'll take a little bit of a left turn here. But I was just talking to some folks the other day, and they're like, "Well, aren't all Marines? You guys are all big guys." I was like, "Nope. There's a reason the Marine Corps is like we used the English Bulldog for our mascot, but during World War II they actually used Dobermans. Okay. Much more like a Doberman in the Marine Corps.
Far more lean.
And who's TW? You got TWs up on here talking about my brother Bamm.
I'm very fortunate.
Bro, you got a lot of love out there.
I'm very fortunate, man. The people that I come in contact with, I hope that they're a reflection of the way they treat me is a reflection of the way that I treat them. I try to treat everybody with some respect. I never want anybody to have to think that I treated them wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it matters to me to be a good dude. And a lot of times in my life prior to now, I didn't give a damn. Like I just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times now, like I go out of my way to try to be a good person. I'm standing at the top of the hill right now. There's behind me than there is in front of me. So whatever it is that I'm gonna do with the time I got left, I better do it right.
So TW Tim West. I'm gonna let you read this.
Oh man. Listen, me and West go way back.
Well, you got to read it for everybody. Read it for him.
the best guy around. He's made me a better man each and every day. Me and Wes go way, way back. You ever have those friends where, so you know the way we were raised. We weren't really raised with love in mind. We were raised on survival in our day and age, right? So
yeah, you weren't texting nobody to come save you.
No, no, sir. Listen, there was no, the bullying that happened in my day happened in real life. There was no internet bullies. I just turned the damn computer off. When I got bullied, it was in form of them hands. They was giving me a beat down. That's real bullying, you know? So it took me a long time to get to a point where I was trusting. But along, I don't really want to say my journey because it's cliche. My story. Had some people, men, not even on homosexual contact, and nothing crazy like that. I'm still me. But men that I tell I love them frequently, and they tell me they love me frequently. And through the years, I'm learning. Hey, listen, love make everything better. Love make everything better. Everything.
Agreed.
Maybe I just didn't. Maybe I'm still learning. Maybe I'm still a risk. But it'll make everything better. It'll make everything just a little bit better.
Brother, you've gotten into something that I don't want to make too hard of a left turn onto this one, but you're 100% right. Where we got to figure out as men. I grew up. My father. I told my father I loved him. My father. People that know me, my father was not always there. My father did a 1-year piece. You know, all kinds of stuff. I make no bones about it. But I always told my father when he was around that I loved him. But my father also, and you sound like that kind of a man. My father also made sure that I acted like a man.
Right. Absolutely.
You can do both. And that's what it sounds like you're talking about. Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was lines drawn in the sand back in those days. And there was a women's side and there was a man's side. I want to get into the semantics of what makes a man and what makes a woman, but I can only speak in first person. And for me, make sure that I was all dude. You know what I'm saying? And there was nothing to talk about. That was just it. There was no other options. You're gonna be a dude. You're gonna learn how to be responsible. You're gonna be able to learn to hold your fort. You got to hold your own fort. Listen, there's nothing silver spoon about me. There's nothing particularly special about me other than ambition. Ain't but one person who thinks I'm anything special than anybody else, and that's my mama. Right?
And your dog. And Bruce.
And Bruce. But I feed him, so that's different. So there's nothing anybody gonna tell you or me, Sean, that's gonna change the way we were raised. We're all products of our environment. Whatever the community is that you come from, whatever our parents were, that's what shaped them into whatever you are today and whatever you are to be. And I'm finally at a place that I understand all of that. You know what I'm saying? Not that I got it all figured out, not at all. But I'm at a place where I understand what my parents were grooming me to be. Before my pops left this planet, he wasn't a I love you type of guy growing up. But as he fell ill, my father passed away from cancer years ago. And as he fell ill, that's when he really started. He was like even affectionate with my kids. He was kissing, touching freely with my kids. You know what I'm saying? And me being able to stand back, because you know sometimes when you're inside the nucleus, all you see is the explosion, right? But if you stand outside the atom, outside the nucleus, you can see you have a vantage now that gives you space enough to have an angle on things that you see. The minute that I got that angle, I started understanding things in a different way, in a different light. And now the way that I am, you know, with my kids, it's just completely different. It's completely different. My oldest got the brunt of military, so I apologize to her today for the way that I was. Her shoes were supposed to be dress in the closet. You know, it's all I knew.
That's my
so, I just when the day comes when I'm called upstairs, the only thing I want to do is be known as a dude that loves his kids. That's nothing else really matters.
Now, How does all this translate for you to what to how your business approach is? These things that you've learned to be, to act like a man but still be caring. And I know some people are like, well, what does it mean to act like a man? It means to treat each other with respect, to still hold a door for somebody, to still stand up and offer a seat for somebody when you know that they're in more of a need than you are, and to go ahead and put somebody else ahead of you, because that's what we were taught, is to put somebody else ahead of you, and you will regain those things in the long run. For yourself, how is that translated into your business model?
So as far as that being integrated into my everyday life, which is my business model, they're synonymous. They're one and the same. So the only way I could really describe that is um, any mistakes that I've made. All the
Check your
mistakes.
audio, Bam. It's hard to hear you, man. Are you on your phone?
Yes. Is that any better?
I think that's a little bit better.
So
I think what I finally figured out what it is. Is your phone sitting on something?
yes.
Can you pick your phone up for a second and just hold it in your hand?
Oh, how about this? I could do this. Is that better?
What did you just do?
I just raised it up off of the table.
Because what I think it is as I was talking, it's coming through the bottom of the speaker and then picking up through the receiver. Like if you have headphones or earbuds, I don't mean to cut you off in the middle of that, but it took me a minute. I'm like, why am I hearing it twice? Let's see. This is that marine technology right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, folks, I apologize for cutting Bam off, but I wanted to hear this. This is important. This man has, if you're listening to this and you're enjoying this, take a moment and check his product out. Look at the things that he has to offer, at BAM Athletics. This is a man who has taken his own destiny in his own hands and made sure that we all have an opportunity, and just following this model of do it for yourself, do what you want to do. Uh, Marcos has said it best. Sam is an old soul. He conducts himself and his business with transparency and honesty. If you can't pick that up in his voice and in the way he's doing things, I got to tell you, you're missing out. For those of you that are out there listening, if you got questions for Bam, maybe you're thinking about uh, doing this on your own, and you're curious about what it would take for you to kind of go out there and do this on your own and be your own person. Uh, Look at the field now. Game time for Bam. Tanks playoff time. See, Bam is taking him. I got to say thank you to him, because Bam's taking a moment for us and walking away from his softball to be hanging out with us tonight. Those are real things that we're getting that opportunity. And if you have questions, you've got a business plan, you've got an idea, throw out an idea. And just listening to Bam, I think he's the kind of guy that would give you that opportunity, or tell you how he approached it. And yep, you're gonna be late, Bam. Tim West says you're gonna be late for the game.
No worries. I'm gonna hold the phone. Is that better? Can you hear me better?
Yes, whatever you just did.
Yeah, I'll hold the
Wait,
phone.
are you on the earbuds?
No, I'm not. The earbuds aren't charged up, and I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Apparently
the dog,
my son.
Bruce.
Apparently my son has had a jam session.
Bruce got him.
Probably.
Whatever you just did, though, it's not echoing back at me.
Okay, no problem.
So I just want to make sure, because what you were about to say. So my question was, we'll go back to it for a second, was how have you been able to take those life lessons, those things about being, acting like a man, acting like how we were raised to be respectful of others, be respectful of their space, be respectful, but at the same time, carry your load, carry your weight. How is that translated into your business model?
I think it's easy. Like if I'm really trying to do my best at something, I think it's easy. I think those things translate easily. If you order a product from me and you're not satisfied with it, let's work something out. If it didn't show up in a timely fashion, let's work something out. Correct the mistake. Just correct the mistakes. That's really it. Just correct the mistakes. Everything that I do is about correcting mistakes because you're gonna mess up, Sean. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna mess up. We're gonna mess up frequently, and the worst thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna continually make the same mistakes over and over. Right?
Right.
Just do my best to make it better. Everything that I do is predicated in its surrounding, not the successes that I've made, that I've had. Everything that I do is surrounding the mistakes that I made. I haven't learned anything by doing things right. I only learned things from the mistakes that I've made. So even in my business model, listen, my entire supplement line is 1,000 mistakes, but I got them right one time. Right? My shirts, my apparel, it's surrounded by mistakes. The mistakes of a whole bunch of manufacturers and bad sizing charts and bad stitching and bad sewing and so on and so forth, bad material. But those mistakes, I got to make them right. You can make 5,000 mistakes, but if you get it right one time, all don't even matter. But the truth is those haters only remember the 5,000.
Amen.
They only remember those 5,000. They want to hold your feet to the fire for those 5,000. But that one that you get right, you can build your damn legacy off that one you got right.
So next steps. Where is the next piece that we see Bamm Athletics? Where do we see Bamm himself? What is the next piece to this puzzle where we can find you?
I hope you find me in Greece going lives at some point here in the next year. That's
Greece.
The next stop on the bus train. Greece. And I want to go. So I went to Egypt when I was in the military, but I didn't see it through the lens of a civilian. I saw it through the lens of a frac jacket and a Kevlar and a M16 and a M249 and an LBB. Absolutely. That's how I saw it. So now, man, I just want to travel. Everything that I'm doing, in all honesty, I want to hand over to my kids. Everything that I'm doing, I want to hand over to my kids. And whatever the residual effect is from that, whatever it is that I can hold on to, whatever it is, just whatever I can scavenge, whatever I can salvage from my life for the time that I have left, I'm willing to trade time for everything.
Now you say with your kids, do they get involved in this business at all?
My oldest daughter and I, we're not seeing eye to eye right now. Hope she comes around. Hope she does. My middle daughter, she's a hustler. I could easily see her doing this. She is a hustler. She's a hustler. My son is super smart. He's fighting his own demons right now. I'm sure he's gonna find his way. He's super smart, but I just don't know if the apparel thing, I don't know if it has the appeal to him. You know, sometimes when you need nine options, you end up choosing none. And I feel like that's the boat that my son is in, excuse me. He's a super smart guy. He's ingenuitive. He's creative. He can create imagery. He's strong. He's a small guy, but he's strong. My son does it. I see my son do 60 pull-ups without stopping. So serious business.
Wow.
Serious business. Super strong. He got the strong genetic. He definitely got the strong.
He got them strong genes.
Yeah, he got them strong with a K though, Sean. Strong. Got them strong genes.
y'all got that strong stuff, ain't y'all?
Yeah. So for me, I want to trade it all in for time. That's the end game. I want to trade it all in for time. And I have no shortness of confidence for sure. I feel like when I'm on my game, you can't match my fly. I feel like my fly is at the top. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on my game. But I'm still willing, even if I'm at the peak of my game, I'm willing to trade it all in for time. I want the time. That's why I don't want to work a 9 to 5. I want the time.
That's the biggest currency in the world. If you really look at that's a currency that the wealthy have that we all want. I mean, if you
really, the hottest commodity.
Absolutely. I do staffing in my 9 to 5. And I can tell you right now, that's one of the biggest questions I get from people who are looking for jobs is Well, how much vacation time? What's my PTO? Things like that. What's the hours? So yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'm no good for the personnel department because you shouldn't have gave me this damn job if you wanted me to be here every day. Because I'm gonna burn up all my time. I'm gonna burn up all my sick leave. I'm gonna burn up all my annual leave. I'm gonna burn up all the holidays. I'm telling you right now, I'm bad business. Never gave me this federal job if that's not what you wanted. Because for me, life, everybody's living, but everybody ain't got life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody all here breathing, but we all don't have life within our lives. And I'm not listen, when I leave this thing, Sean, when I leave this thing, there will be nothing left. Won't be nothing left in this tank when I'm done with it. Right now, I just had Achilles surgery. I only know how to live this life one way, man. I only know how to live this life one way. I've had 4 knee surgeries, ankle, Achilles, foot, shoulder, elbow, tricep, neck, and I don't care. I just don't. I'll and fix me. And when they fix me, I'll be right back. When they fix me, I'll be right back to it. I only know how to live this thing one way. When it's over, it's over. It doesn't matter if you're 25 or you're 52. But when my number's called, nothing left, man.
You know you've done what you needed to do.
Absolutely.
So where can I find? I know we've been mentioning at Bamm Athletics, BammAthletics.com. Remember, folks, Bamm is with 2 M's, BammAthletics.com, at Bamm Athletics on all your major social media platforms. You can find it there. Any stores I can go to, or is it straight direct to consumer?
It's direct to consumer right now. So I have a bit of a deal that I'm working on right now. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but there'll be a major department store that's going to start carrying my apparel here very soon. Should the numbers make sense?
Publix? Kroger?
I wish it was Publix, so that way I can get in there and get some of that sweet tea while I'm working.
Bro, I'm about to change your life. You ready to have your life changed right now?
Bring it.
So I told you I grew up in Baltimore. Everybody got sweet tea. Some people like Turkey Hill. I ain't a big Turkey Hill sweet tea person. But I asked my wife, and I'll have to get you the brand name. I said, I need a sweet tea brewer for the house. She bought me one, and one of my sons bought me one. I have one upstairs. You put 8 tea bags in the top of it, and it tells you how much water, and then you put your ice, but you put your sugar in the bottom of it, and you can brew your own sweet tea at the house right over top of the ice, and when it's done, like, because the ice is already in there, stir it up. And then you can put it in the fridge, and it's in a nice glass pitcher. It will change your life.
What you talking about right now, Sean? You got to give me that. You got to give me that info. I'll be looking for that info. Looking for that info on my messenger tonight.
I promise you, I will send it to you. My wife normally listens to the show. If she remembers, she'll take a picture and send it to me. But we got it right off of Amazon. I got 2 of them. I got one that was like a regular, like, it's plastic, and we put that in the RV. So, like, if something happens, it doesn't break. The one in the house, it's game changer. Game changer.
Yeah, I have that.
We might have to talk about something else, because we got like Laura Murphy, Amber Flores. Now we got Jen Martinez. Like, I mean, we might have to change the name of this shit to Sexual Chocolate. What's going on here, bro?
Hey, the Chocolate Daddy.
Well, you know, they used to back in the day, they called me macadamia, white chocolate. So, I mean, keep that in mind.
I respect that. I can see that. I respect that.
Like, you got them all coming out. Congratulations. Your sincere effort deserves its success. All the best in the future. I'm not sure who Raleigh 947 Bamm is, a stand-up individual. Marco is still on it. Does it make white tea or soul tea? Soul, bro. Like, there's only one, and that's sweet.
Let me tell you what that. So Marco's a brother to me. Like, I'm gonna relocate to get closer to him. He lives up in the Orlando area, and I'm gonna relocate because I want to be closer to that dude. I love him. Just we share so many similarities in parenthood and our father's past. There's a lot of similarities and the things that we go through in life, and he's someone that I really I give a damn about what he says and
All
how he
right.
feels, and I really don't care about what people think or say about me. But he's one that his opinion matters. You know what I'm saying? So now rewind to a time where we go out. So I have a food page as well. I'm a foodie. I also have a food page. I'm a bit of a food critic. It's on Facebook. It's called Fat Boy of the Week. Listen, I eat when I eat good. I eat good, man. I feel like food, man. I feel like food is something in my life that it's one of those pleasures. I'll never have a six pack again because of food. So if we roll up to a restaurant, me and my crew, we roll up to a restaurant, and I ask the young lady, "Excuse me, ma'am, would you guys happen to have sweet tea?" She'll say, "Of course, sugar, we got sweet tea." And I look at her and I say, "Look at me. Look me now. Look, ma'am, look at me. Who made the tea? Did Jennifer make the tea or did Quita make the tea?" And if she says Quita made the tea, give me a round of sweet tea for my boys right here. Let's get this going. So
See, I'm gonna
that's the
argue that
soul.
though. I argue that it's what city are you? Where are you at in the country? So you're down in you're down in the suburbs of New York because that's all Florida is the suburbs of New York. I
It
mean,
really is.
it really
That's
is.
it's the migration plant. It really is the migration plant. Absolutely.
But you got to go to Hotlanta.
Oh, I just came from Atlanta not too long ago, man. I'm gonna give you a little short story.
Give me the
Um,
story.
we don't really have in my family. We have absolutely no knowledge of the paternal side of my family.
Okay.
My, my sister is my biggest supporter, and I can't imagine me loving somebody or somebody me as much as my sister Kimberly loves me, and the way I love her. She reached out on Facebook to anyone with my last name. My God given government last name is Penson, Penson. Well, my sister. Let me not say we, because I'm her backup place. She's the head, and I'm the chest of the Voltron. She really is the brain. She found people with my father's last name. We just crashed a family reunion out of nowhere. Out of serious piece of this though was is we went to the plantation where my family was kept.
No,
Yeah, this was Sean. This was a teary-eyed moment, man.
I bet.
We were having we were having such a great time until we pulled across the street from that house, man. 200 and something acres, big governor's type mansion. Um, we pulled up. We couldn't even get out. We were paralyzed in a way that man, it was an energy that I can't really. I wish I could give you the imagery that matches the emotion, but we pulled up to that house and the energy was just different. It was cold, it was dank, it was wet, it was no longer warm. Um, and it was in Fayetteville, Georgia.
Okay.
I didn't even know there was a Fayetteville in Georgia.
There's only one Fayetteville, and that's Vietnam.
Vietnam. So we went to Fayetteville, Georgia, and we were in Atlanta. We went to Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell you, the sweet tea didn't stand up, Sean. I can't lie, man. It didn't stand up, man. It didn't stand up. Didn't stand up.
I'm going to
I
tell
just
you
came
right
back,
now.
I just came back from Nashville last week though, and I'm gonna tell you that sweet tea.
No sweet tea better than Bojangles.
Okay, okay, all right. Now we talking.
But and I'm going to tell you no breakfast better than Bojangles. The story I often tell is my wife is from the New York area where
Okay,
it took me a
upscale.
while up because and people don't realize where I live in New York, I'm 2.5 hours from the city.
Okay,
And I'm still another 2.5 hours from the Canadian border.
Sean, I don't know what happened. I lost you.
I don't know what just happened, folks. Bam and I were having a hell of a conversation. Hopefully he'll log back on here in a moment. Because I got to tell him this story. I'm back. Bam, come back to me. Come back to me, Bam. Bam, I'm back. I sent him a picture. My wife sent me the picture of the sweet tea maker, and then it was too. The picture of the sweet tea maker was too much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We got that horrible echo again. So you still there, Bam?
I'm here.
So what I was trying to say is my wife had never been really down south in this way. So my children have traveled with me. I lived in North Carolina for years, the whole 9 yards. And we decided we were going to go to Bojangles for lunch, leaving my stepmother's home. My wife says, I don't want that. You hearing that feedback?
I hear it now.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. So we went and told my wife, we were like, well, we're going to Bojangles. She's like, well, I don't want that. I was like, all right, cool. You don't have, I'll stop somewhere else. We ate there 5 more times.
Listen, I had not been to Bojangles in years because it's been something that's been discontinued in South Florida for some time. But when I went to Atlanta, we went to Bojangles and they got a fried sweet potato pie.
Been eating it since I was a kid.
Bro, listen to me. Mind blown. Listen, I ate the 2 that I ordered, and whatever that lady had on that little tray before we left, that's coming home with me. Absolutely.
How much changed your life?
I've changed.
I didn't even know anything.
I've changed it once. I'll change it again.
What you got?
So if you ever make your way back to Atlanta, there's a restaurant. You heard of Chick-fil-A before?
Of course. That's my jam.
Have you ever heard of Chick-fil-A Dwarf's House?
Nah.
So throughout Atlanta, there's only a couple of them. Anybody who don't believe me, take a moment. Those of y'all that are watching us still live, as Bam and I have gone completely off the rails, of 2 people who have spent more time in a gym. He spent more in it than I have. But now we're going to talk fat kid soul food, eating like a king and knowing what to do. So I can honestly say, and long ago it was taught to me, the richest man in the world can count his best friends on one hand.
Absolutely.
I'm a very rich man. I have at least 4 people in my life that I could bury a body with. That's real friendship. Can you bury a body with that person?
Oh, yeah.
I got 4 that I will give me an alibi and bury a body with me. I locked out one of them. I'm married. So my boy Terrell and I were in school together at a job we both had, and across the street was Chick-fil-A Dwarf House. And I'll even send you a picture of it when we get done here. And it's this little tiny, it's a Chick-fil-A, and it's got this little building in front of it and this little tiny house like the 7 dwarfs would walk through the front door of. It's got a restaurant on the side of it with a menu, and it's still a Chick-fil-A that serves burgers.
Yeah?
Now, yeah. Now, remember what you just said about did Shaniqua, LaQuanda, Tanisha, did they make the tea, or did Jennifer, Karen, or Susan make the tea?
Yes, absolutely.
So our waitress comes up, and she is on the 4 side of that. And Terrell Benjamin, him and I sitting together, we look like a Saturday Night Live skit, Ebony and Ivory. And the young lady looks at us and goes, y'all want something good? And obviously Terrell and I said, yeah. She brought us Chick-fil-A sweet potato souffle with a scoop of ice cream on top of it.
So wait a minute. So then that souffle must have been warm.
Hot souffle with marshmallows in it with a scoop of ice cream on it. To this day, it's still one of the most amazing desserts I've ever had.
That's crazy. That's enough to make me, plane tickets is pretty cheap right now, like on some $89 round trip type stuff.
Bro, Atlanta's the best. Atlanta still to this day is the best slice of pizza I've ever had and the best corn dog I've ever had.
Yeah?
There's a place called Antico Pizza in Atlanta. I talked about it on the show before. It is ranked as one of the top 10 best pizza places in the country by Travelocity. It's amazing. They have brick ovens all around the inside of the restaurant, family style seating. I don't know what they're doing through COVID, but you go there and you sit. It's all, like I said, family style seating, and you order your pizza, and within minutes, because these are all brick ovens, you've got your pizza there, and it's incredible. And then they got a place called Palookaville in Atlanta that the whole interior of it is like a 50s, 60s style. They've got like the Munsters and the Addams Family playing on the TVs. And they do 2-order corn dogs, and you can have like an Italian sausage with a peppercorn corn dog topping or cheese and blah, blah, blah. But then they have a girl who's dressed like rockabilly style making adult milkshakes. Like, you can get a Captain Crunch milkshake with a shot of bourbon in it.
Oh, that's grown folk stuff right there. That's grown folk stuff.
Atlanta to me to this day is still, and I've eaten pizza in Naples. I've had gyros in Corfu, Greece. I've eaten. Atlanta, Scotch egg. You ever had a Scotch egg?
No, I don't know what that is.
Scotch egg is a hard-boiled egg wrapped in sausage and then deep fried.
You talking about right now, Sean?
Bruh.
Oh yeah, you got to put me on, man. My messenger should be singing all night with all this information you're gonna give me.
Down in your neck of the woods? You said you want to exit from Key West, right?
Yeah. Well, from the stretch to go to Key West.
Right. Do you know where the Navy base is down there?
Absolutely. I've stayed there from time to time.
Come out of that Navy base and through the base housing.
Okay.
There's a bodega. I want to call it a bodega on your right. As soon as you come out, best Cuban sandwich you'll have next to coming up here to Albany or Syracuse and going to Dinosaur Barbecue.
Listen, we got about 9 trillion great Cuban sandwich joints down here, though. Hey, in Syracuse, do they still have the Carousel Mall?
There's a big mall up there. There's a mall big enough up there that my kids' school did a field trip to it.
Yeah, that's called the Carousel Mall. It was about 2.5 hours away from where I was, and that was the hangout joint for us. That and Oswego County College.
Bro, how cold? You're down in Florida. I'm gonna imagine most of these folks that are hitting us up. We got Andrew, who I have to thank you, Andrew, for hooking us up, providing this opportunity. For those of you that know my show, I'm booked into the month of December. I stay ahead of the game. I can't. This is my own mental issues. I would be booked to next year in December if my beautiful bride wouldn't have told me, slow down. Some people won't show up. We were going to have, and I wish him all the luck, and we're in talks, him and I, to get this the right time. But DC Glenn from Tag Team was going to come on. And Andrew, this is how good Andrew is. Out of the blue, Andrew popped up and goes, Murph, I got somebody for you. I didn't even tell him I needed a new guest. And he provided you. And brother, I am so happy to have you on here. And, I know we're going to keep talking. I want everyone to take a moment. Check out at Bamm Athletics, BAMM ATHLE. God, the bourbon's catching me.
But it's LET.
Yep. Check out Bam Athletics and take a moment and check all this out. Um, there it is, Bam Athletics. But brother, it's funny because you mentioned fat kid. I always say there's a fat kid that lives in my soul.
Oh, mine's never gonna go away.
He's fighting.
Mine's never gonna go away. I tell this joke when I was a kid that she used to say she'd rather clothe me than to feed me. I've always had a crazy appetite, man. I've always had a crazy appetite. When we travel for business for softball, I also have my softball baseball equipment distribution company is called Bamm Tank. My business partner's name is Tank Vicente, and when we travel, we outline a food plan. And those that know us, they know you follow the Bamm Tank, and you're gonna get fat. You're gonna get fat. You're definitely gonna get fat. We eat. We
Now,
leave
you a
one
drinker
restaurant.
too?
I've never tried alcohol in my life.
Never?
Never tried to drink, Murphy. Never once.
That you a good man.
It's just not my thing.
Because I was going to send you to Marlin and Barrel. They're in your neck of the woods, other side of the state. Fernandina.
Okay.
They've been on the show, and they are the #1 tourist destination on Fernandina Island.
Okay. No, I've never tried it. I've never tried beer.
I got to get you. See, this is one of the favorite parts of what I do now. Is I'm also going to get you. We're going to talk. I have to get you hooked up with my boy Sean Walchif. Sean he does digital media, and he's all about guys like you and I getting it together. But he owns a barbecue joint in California called Cali Comfort Barbecue.
Yeah.
And he's got he was one of the first people to put together ghost kitchens. Do you know what a ghost kitchen is?
No, sir.
So, everybody you order your food from your Grubhub or your Melio or Uber Eats or whatever it is you got.
Okay. So it's self-explanatory, ghost kitchen. I got you.
So, yeah, instead of having a restaurant, this is a central location for those people to go to.
Okay.
He's big into that and big into that piece. I have to get you hooked up because the other thing is he teaches. I wouldn't have the media footprint that I have today if not having him on my show one time and listening.
That's awesome.
One time listening to that guy.
I have a podcast as well.
Yeah, he's got a podcast. He's got everything.
No, me. I got one as well. I have one as well.
What's your podcast?
It's called Just Hear Me Out.
All right, I'm listening. I'm hearing you out. Tell me.
That's the name of it. Hear Me Out.
And what's it about?
Occurrences, military story, current events in my life, ups, downs, peaks, valleys, the happiness, the sadness, the guns and butter, the money and the money and the lint in my pocket, the emotion, my kids, anything that I'm going through, anything that I've been through, anything that I feel like somebody may want to hear. And it's also I still have a lot of my my members that are still they're still in, and it's a direct way for me to connect with them. It's something that when I start slacking and I'm not on a regular schedule with my podcast, they'll tell me, "Hey man, we need to connect with you. Give us a little something. Talk about that time we got kicked out of Wendy's, or talk about that time we got beat up in the country club, or you know what I'm saying." It's another one of those avenues that becomes it's become an attachment for me, good and bad. There's times when I do a podcast and I feel emotionally drained. There's times when I relive a moment that I might have forgotten about, but most of it is just rambling. It's just my random thoughts. It's rambling, and it's done fairly well. It's done fairly well.
Yeah, I refer to those. I do some. I haven't done one in a while. Maybe I need to do one because there's some things that as a service member, not going to get into it. Not going to get into it here because this isn't the right show for it. But yeah, I call them bar snacks because you're at the bar, you're drinking at the bar, and then you have a bar snack, which is like a smaller version of everything. But I did one, and you'll appreciate it if you go back and take a look at it on names of bases. How ridiculous the names of some of our installations are as service members. And we kind of mentioned Vietnam. If you look at who Bragg was, and you don't look at that name of that base and go, how on God's green earth could we have an installation named after this person? I got nothing for you.
The character of our heroes and our forefathers is becoming vastly and greatly more in question these days. You know.
Well, if you look at most of the names, they came in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And they came as almost a, and I got my buddy Tom, who you'll see him, Cujo Holstead. Anytime you see anything, Tom and I have talked about this. Most of that stuff, and folks, if you're still with us, we appreciate you. We're a little over an hour into this game, and we've hooked many left turns from Fat Kid Soul Food to lifting to how to start your own game, how to make things happen. Service members, this is what we do. If you ever get too many service members into a room together,
you never stay on the same subject.
God, I don't think I've ever finished a fucking conversation other than somebody passed out or somebody went, yeah, man, man, we could still keep you talking, but I got to get home. Look, yeah. I told you, Tom is one of my closest friends. Same time the statue started popping up is when the base name started changing. It's the truth. And when you look at them, they were changed to these. It was an assault on the civil rights movement when these statues started popping up and these names started popping up. People like to be like, these are our heroes. Folks, these statues aren't 50, 60 years old. You're not showing me statues. It's not like, hey, this is a statue of fucking Caesar. This isn't a statue that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years or anything crazy. And obviously Caesar wasn't thousands, hundreds of thousands, folks. I understand that. These statues were put up as an assault on that movement. And if you look, most of them are in the South. And if you look, bam, the Marine Corps did it right. If you ever look at Marine Corps bases, they're the towns that they're in, like Quantico or, San Diego or Paris Island, or if they're named after a person, it's like Camp Lejeune, General John A. Lejeune. It was actually pronounced Lejeune, but it's, bro, what were your boys thinking?
Listen, the complexion of the country was completely different in this day and age, and the people that they tended to idolize back then, it really was a slap in the face to what was going on in the civil rights movement. Murphy. That's kind of one of those, kick you when you're down type deals, right? But if you kick me on Monday, you got the best of me. And you could probably get the best of me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all day, right? But if you come back on the following Monday and I'm still laying down, that's kind of on me. You know what I'm saying?
That's on you at that point.
That's on me. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I'm ignorant to it, but man, to be honest with you, man, I try not to pay that shit very much mind. That type of stuff will leave you upset, questioning things that you have no answer to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the base thing though, like the bar snacks, and I love it as a format, and I love the fact that you have your show. Cody, look, bro, do you have any? Like, I know you said you got some male friends, but I ain't seen none of them make comments. Cody even that. Like, I mean, I'm married. Cody's out there. She said it's on Anchor. Just hear me out on Anchor. She's got you covered. bro. I mean, you and I feel like we're gonna sit here. We could sit here for hours on end because this is what we do, folks.
That means
If
you
you
gotta
ain't
bring me
never,
back.
oh, you're coming back. We're gonna do. You know what I might do? I have to look at my calendar. I got a gentleman coming up who, in a couple of months, everything about food history.
Oh,
How how food and culture has changed throughout our lives and how food has affected our culture. I'm right now my show that I'm into is on Hulu, High on the Hog. If you haven't watched High on the Hog yet, take a minute, watch High on the Hog. It's really impressive about how Southern food and culture has affected our country and how movement of people has affected things. Check out High on the Hog. I don't get any money from those people. Someday one of them is going to turn around and be like, "Damn, this Murphy guy talks all kinds of shit and got us on point." Like that would be well. Anybody, I know you haven't listened to probably a lot of the shows, but my spirit animal is Anthony Bourdain,
oh,
bro. Only celebrity that ever passed away that affected me.
yeah,
Only like
yeah.
everybody's got their one. Anthony Bourdain was kind of that guy where I was like, damn.
That was the dream job. That was the dream job, man.
Like he changed how we eat.
Right.
You know, he changed the whole game. But so Bam Athletics, because we got to put a bow on this thing. We got to close the bar down. Do not log off after I close the show out. You and I got some things to talk about, some post show things. Definitely want to have you back. Definitely we'll talk about if you've got the time, if you're not in the middle of a softball tournament, eating a side of beef, coming up with a new T-shirt, any of the above things. We got to have you back on. We got to be talking because we need to check in on you. We need to make sure you're okay. We need to make sure that Bruce has not eaten your entire house and left you with nothing. Where Bruce at right now?
Snoozing.
Look, folks, go ahead and check out Bam. You got to check Bam stuff out. You got to see what Bruce is doing. Bruce is the problem in all of it.
But right now he is he's the centerpiece right now. He's the centerpiece.
Bruce
right
needs
now.
to be on a T-shirt in and of himself.
I actually just designed something with him on it too.
Well, I was gonna say a great T-shirt would be "Lift till you look like Bruce," and just have a picture of Bruce sleeping.
Bruce a bad boy, man. He's a bad boy.
He is a good-looking dog. My Phoebe is 13 years old. Brindle, Plot Hound, American Bulldog.
Yeah, Bruce is American Bulldog and Pit Bull.
Good breeding right there. Marco, who have hung with us. Marco, thank you. I appreciate all your comments. Everybody who's commented tonight, thank you so much. Bam, I'm just telling you right now, you got a lot of love out there, brother. You have a lot of love out there.
Murph, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you extending your hand. I appreciate the love with absolutely no limits, without the thought of needing it to be reciprocated. You still you reached out there blindly, and I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I hope I can reflect the same love that you showed me back at you, and it's my pleasure. I really appreciate it.
So tell everybody one more time, we've got Bam Athletics.
We got Bamm Athletics, BAMMATHLETICS. That's where I have all my supplements and all my products. I'm in the process of integrating all of my apparel, all of the equipment, everything else on the exact same website. Nice meeting you too. I appreciate that, Cujo. Thank you very much. Also, we have on all the social media outlets, you can see me, Bamm Baracas, or Bamm Athletics LLC. You also can see me at Bamm Tank. You can also reach me personally at bam@bammathletics.com, bammathletics at Gmail. My Facebook Messenger is always open. My Instagram is always open. I am the one that answers every bit of my messages. I get 1,000 messages a day, and I do my very, very best to answer each and every one of them personally. There is no bot. There is nobody else doing my business, doing my work for me. I'm a one-man operation, not because I'm a badass, but just because I don't trust anybody else with shit that has my name on it. That's all it boils down to.
And the podcast?
Podcast is me out. It's on Anchor. It's also on a few different outlets. I'm sorry, I'm very unprepared for class today, as far as that's concerned. But I know that Anchor has extended it to other places, and I have one particular sponsor I want to shout out. His name's actually Murphy as well. His name's James Murphy, and Murphy Enterprises. He's a very, very good dude. He pays me to have to say, and I'm very appreciative of it. It's a decent little check, and I appreciate it. But that's not the only reason why I do it. I'm willing to give people some insight into what makes me click, what makes me work, and also, man, like I said, I'm down to help anybody else out. I hope everybody else is seeking freedom, because that's all I want is some damn freedom. I want my own freedom. I want my own everything. I want my own food. I want my own dog. I want my own house. I want everything. Everything. I want it all. I want it all, and I want it all to be mine. And I hope everybody else out there understands that you a king or you a queen, whichever the one you are. And kings and queens don't take orders from no damn body. Nobody. Free. You know, in that Braveheart scene when he was like, freedom. You know what I'm talking about, Murph. Yeah. That's like my favorite scene ever, man. Just freedom, man. I just want to be free, man. I want freedom. I want to do what I want to do whenever the bleep I want to do it, however I want to do it, wherever I want to do it. That's it. And anybody else seeking the same, you should reach out to me. I'm willing to help. If you got a business, I'm willing to help. Yeah, you know, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to let everybody else do what they want to do. Everybody should be able to do what the hell they want to do. No chains, no shackles, no limitations. Everybody should be able to do what they want to do without explanation, without convenience for somebody else. Everybody should do what they want to do.
Power in the numbers of people. That's always been a true thing. Power in numbers.
Listen, some people gonna be sacrificed in the front of the charge, but ultimately the charge will take over. Ultimately, will take over, and all that energy is absorbed. I'm a nerd, man. I believe in energy. All the energy will end up being, you know. But Murph, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Absolutely, we will definitely stay in touch. For those of you that have hung with us, those of you that are listening to the download here, as always, please take a moment, like, subscribe. All the Bamm's people that liked and subscribed to our YouTube page, which is the Above the Bar podcast on YouTube. Everybody who's out there who's listening to this, please take a moment, as that cliche as it's become, like and subscribe to the Above the Bar podcast. We're on every major platform. Make sure you like, subscribe, give it 5 stars. That's how other people know about this. That's how people know about Bamm. That's how people know about Adam Stewart from last week. That's how people know about our upcoming shows. Everything that's coming up is when you like and subscribe, they find out about it. They push it to the forward. Our Instagram, the Above the Bar podcast, Twitter at Above the Bar 4. Email, if you've got that sticker, you've got that thing you're supporting. I'm looking for a Bamm sticker. You have to find me one, brother. Got to find me a Bamm sticker, and we'll put it right here on the board. You know, because it is almost football season, and my Ravens.
I got a care package waiting for you. Don't worry. I got a care package waiting for you.
My Ravens. You know, it's about that time. We've got coming up a former Raven, my man Nate, that always is popping on. I don't know where he was tonight, but we're going to be talking with a former Baltimore Raven, seeing how I can put my fantasy football team together. Make sure I can win this year. But our email, the Above the Bar podcast at gmail.com. Now, as I said, Bamm, don't disappear on me here. But as our guest, you get the last word. What's the last word for tonight?
Freedom. That's it. Freedom. Be free. Do what you want to do when the hell you want to do it. Don't take orders from nobody. Freedom.
Love it. All righty, folks. Be sure to push your stool in.
This has been an Earplug Podcast presentation, found on earplugpodcast.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found.